love
I have
hip-hop.
I have a pre-topic for us here, and I titled it "He Won't Leave."
Jeez.
All right. So basically, there's an Airbnb guest who is found a loophole where he's not leaving the spot, bro. And like the LTD or whatever, the freaking thing, the tenant board, whatever, they haven't been able to help the owners of the house get him out. So I'll play it for y'all.
Never checks out and refuses to pay. That's what one Richmond Hill couple is trying to figure out. This woman and her husband, who asked not to be identified, decided to turn this basement unit into a vacation rental.
We decided to rent with Airbnb.
In May, they get a request for a long-term 1-year stay booking. Before accepting, the couple called Airbnb asking what happens if the guest stops paying.
Don't worry at all, because we have a specialist team. If something happened, the specialist team comes to your case.
Well, the guests stopped making payments in August despite multiple requests and pressure from Airbnb. We contacted Airbnb. While they can't evict the guests, they say cases like this are extremely rare, but acknowledge the couple's frustration, saying our team is continuing to work with them to provide ongoing support, including ensuring they receive full payment for this reservation. It does not, however, solve the issue of the guests who remain there today.
He just live here without payments happily, and we don't know what we should do.
They called police, but they said to take it to the landlord-tenant board. While the LTB ruled Airbnb guests are not considered tenants in a previous case, there's another twist here. The couple also had the guests sign this Ontario rental lease 15 days after they checked in.
I think, oh my God, it's for 1 year. It's more than 28 days. It's better that I sign a contract with the guest too.
I think when you throw in the residential lease, it does create a little bit of a unique situation.
Jerry Langford is a paralegal who represents landlords, but is not involved in this couple's case.
But I think the sticky point is that the Airbnb platform was still a part of it, and the intention didn't change with the signing of the lease. With all the payments being made through the platform, my gut reaction would be that it still falls under Airbnb.
And again, the LTB has already ruled Airbnb guests are not protected by the Residential Tenancies Act. But does the added signed lease change things? The couple has a date in front of the LTB next month requesting eviction.
So it's going to be...
Okay. I'm going to stop it there.
They have to wait a whole month to talk to someone about kicking someone out in the next month. Yeah.
Another month of him just chilling in the crib.
I rate it still.
I rate it too because he found a way to game the system, but don't they have his credit card on file? Can't they just keep charging that?
Like, I guess you don't have it. I guess it might be tapped out.
And you could use like a Koho, you could use a Wise card, you could use all them little like...
Yo, you're giving them too much.
No, you know what I mean? Like there's these like non-institutionalized banking systems that you could use and then make your little Airbnb. You know what I mean? So like once you stop putting money onto those cards, what are you charging?
Yo, if anybody subscribed to Koho off of this, say Natural, because Natural said it, or Friday sent you so we can get a little extra $5 on top of that. You know how that go, right?
Facts. How I need for my code? I'll give you my code still.
I need to
we both got a code change.
Yeah, just like who wants an e-transfer?
This is not an ad, but air horns for Koho.
No, facts.
Holy, this is terrible though, bro.
Yeah.
Our country's kind of a joke when it comes to these things. Like, you have someone living on your property that's refusing to pay, refusing to comply with the agreement you guys set. You can't just call the police and get them out. You can't physically remove them forcibly. Like, what are you supposed to do?
It depends.
Supposed to just take your L. Like,
it depends, because I know there are certain situations like I know if they've been living there for a certain amount of time, and if they have as soon as they mail starts going there in their name, then you're cooked. Then you're cooked.
That's their crib now.
You know what I mean? So
squatters' rights.
Yeah, you have to kind of catch them before certain things start getting enacted. But me, I would they sound like Ukrainian, Russian, or something.
Persian, 100% Persian.
They should have a one cousin that's like a little mud in the head that could go deal with the situation, bro.
Thank you. Because listen, I'm as a landlord myself, I already have the advantage and I guess sometimes disadvantage, but I have the advantage in this situation. I'm big, scary black guy.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna try that shit with me. Like
Yeah.
if you bump into the landlord and this is what the landlord is,
Yeah.
like, okay, if you're doing that, then, you know, you're with the shits then, I guess.
So no one has ever tried to run off on you?
Run off on me? No.
Okay.
But somebody destroyed my kitchen.
Wow.
And I had to kick her out. I had to give her an eviction notice and stuff.
Yeah.
And she was kind of acting a little bit cute with the eviction notice, like she wasn't leaving.
Yeah.
And I was on my way to Montreal, and I told her, I'm coming to Montreal right now, and I'm going to be coming to that house as soon as I get into this city. By the time I got into that city,
She was gone.
she was gone.
I read it.
Big, scary black guy privileges.
Intimidation factor.
Yes. So these people, they're, you know, obviously, like, I'm not going to do something. Or maybe I might. I don't know, man. But at the same time, these people are not afraid of these guys. You know what I'm saying? If there's a little bit of fear in there, they might not try that shit.
You know what it is? They're not afraid of the legal consequences because there are none. So you have to instill that fear from the landlord.
Exactly.
And if you can't, then he's just going to walk all over you for the next however many months. And some people get away with doing this for years. And it kind of leads to Bill 60, which they're kind of trying to pass now, Doug Ford. It's about tenants' rights and making sure that, you know, in these situations, like the board is able to find solutions that make sense. Because more times you're waiting for months to see someone. And in those months, you're still paying your mortgage. This guy's living rent-free.
Yeah.
I don't like that, though. I don't know, man, because I feel like I see it from both sides. I see it from the tenant and then the landlord as well. You know, it's not fair to the landlords who have a mortgage payment and who are trying to do the capitalistic thing and build generational wealth and passive income. But at the same time, for the tenants, it's like, bro,
But like,
if I can get away with it, why not?
no, but I feel like they're both trying to take advantage of each other because enough landlords are trying to take advantage of their tenants. You know what I mean? The mortgage be $5 a band, and then they're charging 3 bands for the basement. You know what I mean? Like, so if the tenant could find
I don't know about that.
You don't think that landlords are trying to maximize their profit? And
They are, but it's never like a ridiculous amount where like,
bro,
it's like $500 for the mortgage and you're paying $2,500. Like,
bro, have you seen these condos downtown? What these like Chinese investors are doing? They're buying 1-bedroom condos, and then they're taking the living room. They're taking shelves. They're putting a shelf in it, putting something at the top of the. Now it's 3 bedrooms. They put a little sliding door. The 1 bedroom that they're paying maybe like a $1,500 mortgage for is now 3 bedrooms, where each room is $1,800.
but I feel like the market regulates the prices of rent. So even though technically it's arbitrary, where someone could be like, I'm renting my room for $20,000 a month, like because of, you know, okay, location, square footage, like amenities and stuff, like there ends up being a standardized price. And usually that price isn't too much more than the mortgages.
You're going to like, we're all seeing these ads of like, mans are renting closets for $7. Mans are renting kitchen floors, shared rooms, all this next stuff, bro. Like,
technically, though, more times those are, I don't want to say illegal, but they're usually under the table.
And are some of those things real? Because some of those can be social media posts. Like I seen one thing, it was like a sliver of like a house, and they were like, this house is for like $3,000 a month. And I'm like, that can't be real.
bro, I've literally seen this, dog. Like, this is a real ad. A man is looking for a shawty to rent the room for free.
Yes.
Rent the room for free. Oh, that's friends with benefits.
We talked about that on the pod.
You know what I mean? So like, if that's wanted, I'm sure mans who are not worried about polls are trying to maximize the amount of bread they're getting for their rooms, fam.
My question is, who's actually taking up that man on the ad? Like, all right, I got the pokes for you.
Some down bad student, I guess. You know, like. But I know these guys are trying
to add to flush. I'm joking. All right, man, that's too far.
Too soon.
But like, I feel like with the mortgage rates now, like the amount that you're gonna charge for rent, at least in Toronto, is not gonna be super profitable. Where you're like doubling your money, like not even close. You know, like you have a mortgage. Like how much more? Well, I don't want you to expose it just in case your tenants are watching. But it's not.
She's leaning closer to the TV right now.
She's like, I thought it was this.
But no, you got to think.
And you pay taxes on that too.
Taxes.
So then what's the point of doing it if you're not making bread off it?
To pay off your house. To pay off, it's like it's like the mortgage pays for itself.
Yeah, but you also want to make a profit to a degree. Might not to the point where like you're breaking somebody's head or like you're going above market value, right?
A couple $100, a few $100 a month, maybe 500-600 profit is
ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, the thing is, we also have to keep in mind market value, right? You can't really like break somebody's head on a certain type of area, like a basement or something. Like, I know you said 3,000, but like if the going price is like 1,500, ain't nobody taking a $3,000 basement.
And that is true. I'm also talking about like downtown and stuff, and like maybe it's not the same situation, but like, bro, when I'm looking at places or whatever, there are literally mans converting 1 bedrooms into 4 bedrooms, and like, so I think like, isn't that like super maximizing profits and like trying to take advantage of like whatever housing crisis is going on in the city?
Yeah, and you see that a lot with the international students where there'll be like 8 people in a crib, but those are technically illegal. Like that amount of occupancy with that, like they have standardized rules for like when you're becoming a landlord.
Yeah,
and like that's why these guys get busted, because like they're trying to, I guess they're getting too greedy, even though it's their property. So technically I have the right to rent it out to 1,000 people if they want to pay, you know? Like,
and the thing is a lot of scamming going on because the mortgage scam comes with the insurance scam. So you can't have a mortgage going on unless you're paying for some kind of insurance. And obviously you want to have insurance on your house. But then it fluctuates based on like if you're a renter and stuff like that. And if you have multiple people and stuff, that shit can vary. Now you're getting beat in the head by insurance. I might need to charge a little bit more for the spot, bro.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a trickle-down effect. So the landlord's like, damn, I'm getting charged this. I don't even really want to rent on my spots, but so if I am, I might as well make it worth it for me.
And repair.
You know what I mean? So like, and then the tenant is like, damn, like, I'm paying all this. If I could find a way to kind of finesse or get true for a few months, and I'm going to do it. Like, I feel like everyone's just trying to find a way.
Yeah, and also tenants, we're in this cycle right now. A lot of Toronto, I think I don't know exactly the percentage, but they're trapped in a cycle where we're just paying rent, but we're not making enough money to just pay rent, put some money aside to one day pay for a mortgage or put a down payment on a crib. So now you're just in this perpetual cycle of paying rent until you're like 70 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you never took the step to say, all right, I've saved up enough money to get out of the rent system and get into the mortgage system. It's designed for you not to be able to do that.
But do you guys ever agree with some of those advisors that say that, you know, buying property is a sham and like it's not the wisest financial decision? Because I know a lot of people, even like my age, probably even younger, that when they get their first crib, you know, like newlyweds, for example.
Yeah.
They both have like good jobs. They both save up. Their parents both pitch in. They all pitch in on this one crib.
Yeah.
But now for the rest of their life, they're like house poor in a way where it's like everything is going towards the crib, maintenance, the mortgage, because the mortgage rates are crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not the type of asset in that situation that's going to make you money, because you could break even or lose money on just a residential crib. It's not like you just have this crib to rent out. It's like, now we're living in it.
No, you're living in it. Yeah.
Even if you renovate the basement or whatever, that's kind of just going to keep you afloat.
It doesn't make you any money. So it's like, is it worth the investment?
But then they'll say like, well, you're going to pay rent anyways. So at least you can pay rent towards an asset, you know?
Yeah, if you can finish and own it before you die, because that's what like the goal is.
Yeah, that's only when it's worth it, really.
Right? Then you can leave it to your kids. That's basically the goal. Just pay for your mortgage until you, and hopefully before you're 70, you finish paying the mortgage, and now the house is paid, and I'll never be able to live in it properly because I'm 70. now I can live in it stress-free at 70 years old, but I die in like 5 years, and then my kids can have it and fuck it up.
Damn, that sounds not worth
I think it depends on like what you want to do in life, because me, like, I love traveling, you know, like, so I don't want to feel like I'm handcuffed to this one piece of land in this cold part of the hemisphere, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. And I don't mind being able to like, because even when I moved to Montreal, that was this kind of like an impromptu decision, you know, and I kind of like being able to do that. But I guess if you have a house, you could just like rent it out in the meantime. But I still feel like you're shackled, you know?
Yeah, legally, financially, you're going to be thinking about it, especially if that's your biggest investment.
If the government is trying to get at you in any way, the first thing they're going for is your crib.
Yes. Yes.
And it's almost like you don't even own it at that point. If the government can just walk in whenever, seize the property or do whatever, and most of the time you're just paying off the banks for your whole life.
Try this. Try not paying your property taxes and school taxes and all that for like a year. They'll put your house on auction.
Really, eh?
Yes. Yes.
That's kind of a mess. They do all type of weird stuff with properties. Like, okay, like say like one of your parents or whatever, like you're automatically in their will, but let's say they didn't formalize the will, and then you inherit the property and you sell it. The government takes so much money from that profit that it's like it went from like you made 300,000 to like 80.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, what? This is like my family's property, but technically it all belongs to the corporation of Canada.
Okay, well, one last thing before we end this segment here. What about Airbnb? Are they not liable in some kind of way? Because everything went through Airbnb.
Yes, I think if they're making money off this transaction, they have probably the legal obligation to ensure that their clients are satisfied.
Yeah.
You know, and
get them out of this, man. How the hell?
Don't you have to prepay for Airbnb, or is it after your stay?
Because with Airbnb, you could do monthly stays. So like you could book it for like, let's say 7 months, and then you pay for the first, I believe it's either the first month or the first 2 months. And then for the subsequent months, they charge you like, I believe like a week before or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we probably put down the first 2 months and then we just cancel this card or something.
Finesse the ting, bro.
But you know, they should like, I don't know. I feel like they're being too nice about the situation. Like me, I would be making it super uncomfortable for him to be there.
Yeah. Send a cousin, man.
Send a cousin.
Well, listen, man. Salute to them people over there, man. Hopefully they are able to work it out and look out for squatters, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's start this shit off here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.